I want to talk about something interesting with the Volume 27 cover reveal featuring none other than the comedian himself, Takaba. And as you know, we are in an extended JJK break right now, so it's the perfect time for crazy theories, right? But if you're not caught up on the manga, spoilers beware. All right, so first things first, our man here is on the cover because the majority of this volume is the Takaba Kenjaku fight. We actually pick up with chapter 237, which is immediately after Gojo's 50% discount, and we end on chapter 245, which is the end of the Takaba Kenjaku fight. And here's actually a list of all of the chapters in this volume with their titles. And as you can see here, these five I've highlighted are different from the rest. And these five chapters are the Takaba Kenjaku fight. Gege used a different titling scheme here because he was paying homage to another famous Shonen Jump manga and anime, and specifically that anime's opening song called Foolish Survivor or Baka Survivor. And this anime was called bo-bobo-bo-bobo. And when these chapters were coming out, I actually talked about this because a lot of people noticed these parallels. Basically, Takaba was this idiot survivor, right? Because he's this comedian, he's fighting with Kenjaku, and ultimately, since Akotsu comes in, he's an idiot who survived, right? And there were also some interesting Gojo theories, but, that's not the point of this video for now. So, in combination with this information and the volume cover, I just had some new thoughts. So take another look at this volume cover really quick because those chapter titles I just showed you were not the only illusion Gege decided to make. Because here is the volume 1 cover of bo-bobo-bo-bobo. So clearly a fun reference, but it really got me thinking again, and mostly because of the background here. And yes, Kenjaku is kind of getting his little Easter egg because he is the other main part of this volume, but I wondered if maybe it went a little bit deeper because we know Gege likes to do things with the little details, right? So yeah, it's the smiley face with the stitches. It's kind of like Takaba's brand mixed with Kenjaku's, and then I was like, wait, Takaba mixed with Kenjaku. I mean, this is literally Takaba's symbol here, and yet it has the stitches on its forehead. So one theory I played with back when their fight was actually happening was, what if Kenjaku was about to brain swap with Takaba after being fascinated by that technique? My theory mainly stemmed from this panel here where Kenjaku had ultimately beaten Takaba and he was lying down in funeral garb, no less, but oh so conveniently, the place on his forehead where a scar might be was covered up by this headdress. So that just got my mind racing, especially combined with the final words from Kenjaku being, "My will be inherited." And the absolute last time we see a panel with Takaba in it is this one here, where Kenjaku is, smiling at his end, which is curious in and of itself. And we've talked a lot about Kenjaku speculation since this chapter dropped. But here again, we have Takaba, his forehead still conveniently not showing, and Kenjaku saying, "I'm glad I fooled around with that guy at the end. You guys are next." So is this definitive by any means? No, but it's all very interesting. Now, Akotsu was seen with Takaba. He was even holding his hand in a previous panel here. So presumably Akotsu would have led Takaba back to safety, but also he was doubling back to go fight Sukuna. So we don't exactly know what he did with Takaba's body. And did he have the foresight to check under that bandage just in case? I don't know. The biggest thing about all of this is that we don't know how this body swap technique works still. Yes, Akotsu just did it with Gojo, but we still don't have the finer details of exactly what happens. And the fact that Takaba was, just laid like this, again, felt like it was preparing for something. So was Kenjaku planning on swapping in? Had he already initiated that process? Who knows? But just seeing that little smiley face with the stitches on it got my mind racing. What if Foolish Survivor was never referencing Takaba and was instead about Kenjaku himself? Now you might say, Kenjaku's not a fool, he's one of the smartest characters in the series, but I feel like this is more in reference to the comedy angle of things, and you gotta remember that Kenjaku did beat Takaba in the comedy battle. Not only that, he always seems to live on, he always seems to win and remain, and he was laughing it up in his final moments. So, I don't know. Anyways, this was just a fun kind of idea to play with and dive into, and since we got a long break before the next chapter, I figured why not dig in. So let me know y'all's thoughts and theories in the comments below, and I will see you soon.